this is quite the momentous occasion that I am taking part in. So, for any of you all that know, my name is Trevor Redmond. I self-taught myself in history. I'm doing journalism, and I'm interviewing somebody very recognizable today, very important. His name is Youness Farokhrani, and he was part of the Iran-Iraq War. So before we begin this interview, I kind of wanted to give some historical context on what led up to this. Okay, so in the 600s, there's this guy named Muhammad who was a merchant's son. He got this vision from this guy in a cave that was called La, and apparently it spoke stuff to him. And eventually, he got that, went down to a deity cube, told people their gods were fake. And after that, a bunch of people converted. He would give speeches in random desert oases. And eventually that would lead to them taking over the Safavid Empire. And eventually it would kind of flourish for a little bit, but then the Sufis and the Sunnis kind of had different ideas of what Islam would be. One valued more stricter doctrine, the other one was more loose with their doctrine. And those two kind of started to fight. And those tensions especially rose during the Arab-Turkey conflicts in World War I and World War II. And it kind of culminated into this big kind of conflict with international involvement and diplomatic intervention and what those policies were. And in his case, Farokhrani was born during a time when a lot of political extremism was on the rise, especially in countries like Iran, and especially in that geopolitical climate. But what makes his story so unique, in my opinion, is that he was able to survive and endure all of these hardships. In his book, The Story I Never Planned to Tell, you can buy it on Amazon. It's a super great book. And I mean, I just want to give it off to you, Farokhrani.
Thank you. I'm glad that you studied the background of those kind of religion. It's good to know about it. Before I start, I really appreciate. Thank you for initiating and organizing this interview. And I also appreciate any faculty member that will help you on coordinating this. It means a lot to me that I see that young student is so motivated and insistent doing all this kind of thing. It's not easy, but really I am proud of you, like I've been proud of all my students, that your teacher, whoever was that, discovered you and let you do this interview. I also wanted to thank Dr. Mr. Darga, the superintendent, from get-go. He was very supportive, and I appreciate his support as well. I want to just open up regarding my book a little bit, talk about opening, then you feel free to ask any question you would like. I grew up in Iran when the education were highly valued and opportunities were expanding. I was fortunate to have teachers who recognize my talent, my potential at early stage when I was in 8th grade. And they encouraged me to pursue the field of mathematics, which I did. Then on 1797, revolution changed the direction of the country. And eventually my own life has changed as well. I witnessed how political ideology can reshape institutions, families, and even the mind of young people. I later served during Iran-Iraq War, where I experienced conflict not only on the battlefield, but also within the system itself. Eventually, I came to the United States, rebuilt my life through the education, becoming a teacher at Michigan. This book is not about war. It's about resilience, critical thinking, and the idea that your past doesn't have to define your future. With that being said, I'm ready to answer all your questions.
All right, so giving educational background, I was reading your book. You were so smart. You were able to solve these complex problems at such a young age and help students with their homework. I honestly have to ask, have you ever had an IQ test, like ever?
All honesty, no, I never had IQ test. Do you know who discovered me? My 8th grade algebra teacher. That's what I owed him, and that's what he was my motivational that I became a teacher, especially math teacher. Yeah, the same goes here. Somebody discovered you. When I came first time here, Patrick and Mrs. West said, "This is Trevor," right?
Right.
This is the main thing that we appreciate those teachers, that they focus and they put time and energy and discover the students, right? This is one of the things that I appreciate all those faculty and teachers, that they focus the future of the students. Priority is the future of the students, which is I learned from my teachers. That's what I carry on with my life. And that's what it is. And the book says, and you see that how many students, they are appreciative. I didn't know even what's going on. After I published the book, I figured out, oh my God, is that me? I wasn't expecting the student, they, love me, what I did. So that's what answer is. No, unfortunately, we didn't have IQ that time. They didn't concentrate, but my IQ was my teacher.
That is a really a motivational thing to say. Like, for sure, that's incredible. That kind of goes back to the whole idea of fostering how to think, kind of how Albert Einstein used to tell people how to think. And it is remarkable. You could see someone like Edison, who didn't do so well in school, become this great inventor. And it's to hear that from you too, just really solidifies that point that if you're willing to achieve something, you'll be able to do it, right? And that's for sure. You also helped a ton of students there as well that were impacted by you. When you tutored students in Iran, what's your favorite memory from helping people in Iran with math?
It's not just Iran. Here, there, is the same topics. That what is my favorite, what made me happy, what I am doing, tutoring or teaching. The one that mostly those students that they were struggling, and their mindset was that I cannot do that. From get-go. Changing that mindset was very, very helpful and useful, and I admire that I helped them to change that set mindset. No, I can do it. So what I did was I saw that the motivation is there, but effort is not there. I said, let's try it. I am tutoring right now. Let's go through a small, simple things. And then I see, no, the ability is there. And then I said, let's do this, let's do this. So they grow and they figure out themselves, no, my mindset was wrong. I am way better than I was thinking. This happened in this school that I was teaching almost 20 years. Yeah, I was a tough teacher. Students, they were first afraid of me because I was tough. And a lot of story, I don't want to go there. It's in my book. But I taught algebra, pre-calculus, and advanced placement, which my focus was bringing kids from there to there. So the student coming saying that, I don't think I should go further algebra. But as a teacher, I put my time to see that really they have that, talent that hide in there, but they don't want to open up. So working with the student, you can figure out. They are scared, but then what happened was, eventually, those students that they will say, I cannot do it. I carry along on AP calculus. Can you believe it? They got 5. And that's what I am so proud that I did it. And now it is in the book they are writing me. Oh, I was scared. I didn't want to take it. I heard this. No, you were tough on me. You yelled at me. You asked me to come Saturday. You came Saturday. So students, they don't forget who cares, who doesn't care. That's what in my book I said. I love those stuff that focused student future. So that's why I am so proud of my student first, that they put effort, and my help as well.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true, especially like AP exams. Like a lot of people, the reason why a lot of them don't do as well on them is a lot of like, you got to put in the time for a lot of stuff that you do. Like I take advanced placement history classes, and like I definitely see that too, even in that class, where like you have to put time in to be able to understand stuff. So it's, for sure, it's like a lot of it is belief. Like, can you do this? Can you not do this?
You're right. So that's the key, that you have to see that student first taking initiatives, right? First. And then you say, give the promise that since you're trying, I promise you can do it. Other than that, no, you cannot come to the classroom, don't do homework, don't try it. It's not promising. So that effort, plus another thing you mentioned about AP, we have AP teachers here, fluctuates. I used to come Saturday, Sundays here. It's in my book. I used to ask parents, please let them come. Because some of them, they used to work on Saturdays. And I said, I am willing to pay Saturday wage. How much is minimum wage? If this student excel, pass one semester, so what happens? One semester ahead, going to college, what's going to be tuition comparing minimum wage that's working for $5? You know what? Parents are now, they are buying my book, say, you're the one that you pushed me. They never forget. So it is very important that you have devoted teachers. I am not, but there are a lot here in AP Calculus, but I did my best. I am happy with what I accomplished. And my student, we did together. It is unity, right? I cannot say I did it. We did together.
That makes a ton of sense, especially in the context of your book and in the context of what was talked about. I mean, it is true. A lot of stuff that people do is because of people who push them. A lot of the teachers I remember I had these English teachers who pushed me super hard, and I got better at writing from them. And I even write short stories in my free time, and I write allegories and stuff for fun. So, I mean, it's definitely like when you have the right teacher, you really can go places. Like I remember this one history teacher, his name's Tom Hoover. You might have known him.
Oh yeah, football coach, right?
Right. No, he was a big motivator in me kind of like going for more forward. Him and Mrs. Zen were the two
Yeah,
people that were really
Mrs.
like instrumental in like, okay, I'm gonna go forward with this.
Yeah, I work with them. Both they are retired, right? Yeah,
Sadly.
Hoover was the football coach before. Right now, Tom.
Okay, I actually have to ask. So when you were teaching like battle strategy in like Iran, like there's a lot of great minds of strategy. You know, Napoleon, like there's a bunch of people, right, that are in that. Like, what kind of minds did you cover, like in strategy and like?
All right. First of all, I was armor officer. I don't know you know the branch in army. My training was in Fort Knox advanced course, which the time of Shah, we had to go through a lot of exam tests, pass all those, including English, and you have to be, I'm not saying it's smart, you have to be somebody that could digest the environment. So after I am done from training, our training was about tactics. What is tactics? In operational, in battlefield, you coordinate all branch of the army, infantry, artillery, logistics, and coordination means that if you're doing offensive operation, we have to coordinate who is going to do what. So basically teaching tactics, principles of the war. I was, as a G3, even in the war, I was designing all those, coordinating with them, right? So on the artillery as well, who does first, who does, this is the sequence that all army they do, plus Navy and Air Force. So I wasn't involved with things outside my field. So that's what, after I came back, I was teaching. And then when the war broke out, even I was teaching at military academy, mathematician, and also tactics, which is a different story, which I couldn't even use it, my knowledge, my things, because there was totally different scenario. It's in my book. So about other stuff, we didn't have that much. Yeah, one more thing was that because of my knowledge, we used to have some part of, the radiation, range of radiation. First, and the artillery comes, it hits, how far it goes, right? So I used to figure out those very soon. Figure out and teach some of my classmates from West Point and all those. I used to help them because of mathematical knowledge. But other than that, we didn't have any classified, knowledge of things, because there are different units that they do that. So mine was just coordinating between all branches of army and for tactics.
Wow, that seems like your students probably would have learned a lot from you for sure. There's probably a lot of stuff I can't even imagine.
All honesty, that was after the revolution. And if you look at my book, the principal wasn't really teaching tactics to other officers. The principle has changed to ideological. The priority was teaching, brainwashing, officers, students, military academy students. This is different story that I don't want to get into right now, but if you want, I can explain what happened.
I mean, you could if you want to. I mean, we have time.
The theory is that things change after revolution. They don't trust us. They don't trust me. because I was working for previous regime, not me. What they did, it goes politics. The first day that Khomeini took over, they killed all of our high-rank generals the first day because of distrust or mistrust. They started from top, come in the bottom. So I was that time a captain. Most of the officers and sergeants, they dismissed them or they said, you have to go this, you have to, because they didn't mistrust. So who did they brought? Some people that became Revolutionary Guard later. They said it as a commander. So Revolutionary Guard was watching me, what I am teaching. Or they have some other representative of Khomeini in all bases, all officers, to watch, like a spy on us. What was a spy? In that if this captain is fasting in Ramadan, this captain or this sergeant is going to pray, which unfortunately I had a lot of duty to take care of, the teaching students. Besides that, they gave me transport because I had mechanical engineering degree. Transportation, they gave it to me. So I was focusing over there rather than going to, at 12 o'clock, they supposed to go pray. You know, I forgot because I was busy. And then that's what pinpoint from, you know, the office, representative of Imam, who has the power for over the commander of military, commander, whatever he says. So that one, another worst point, it was that spying. I mean, they hired the spies among all of us to go and report that this officer did this officer talked about that. Even in the classroom, I was talking about principle of war. And I say first principle is security. And then one of the they put it even revolution, the young revolution got brainwashed. I said, no, it is religion, faith. I said, you're right. It's, you know, those kind of things I was involved. I was teaching based on, you know, tactic theories. And then they are shutting me down, which it was. And a lot of things happened. That's what, now you see after 47 years, what's happening to my people right now.
For sure. I saw crazy stuff on the news in the past week, 2 weeks, and it was kind of crazy because it was around the same time I was planning this interview. And I'm just like, wow. It's like there's people in the streets, there's all this stuff going on, and it's really crazy how many people's lives were affected by that. But this kind of leads me to ask you, when it comes to the authority of the Islamic regime, because I've looked into kind of how they are with parliamentary bodies and kind of that, I feel like it's not as legit as it seems. Like with spies, was it like the KGB where they would put a bunch of people everywhere, like every move would calls be monitored? What was the level of spying?
Trevor, you know, I figured that it's not just me. From the beginning, that Khomeini came, even it didn't take that long that I figured out what's going to be the future of this country. When they came in, the interview that they had with Khomeini, what do you think about economy, whatever? Do you know what he said? What is your feeling? This is in airport. He said nothing. But he promised that everything is going to be free, whatever. This is the Imam. Imam, do you know what it means? It's representative of the God.
Yes.
And he lied to people. So you pushing me towards the politics, that's okay, I answer. But what do you see right now? At that time, you know, I think I sent you a segment of video. Did you get a chance to open it or no?
I have gotten a chance to open it. I watched some of it. It was kind of terrifying to see some of the stuff in that, how willing their faces seemed. There was kind of like a weird innocence about it. It kind of reminded me of the Hitler Youth, or an organization where they're just leading people to do specific things.
All right. So again, let me just explain again. It is not my book, but since you're opening, I have to explain. They brainwashed that time, Iraq-Iran war that I was witness. They brainwashed young school kids. How? Some based on religious ideology, some. Mostly they said, come on, go have fun, battlefield, you get an A. These students, they don't want to stay in the classroom. We're gonna give you, don't worry. And when they come, they say, no, this is not the place. Without permission of parents, because Imam ordered, this is in the religion, you were talking about Islam. Imam order means that the God order. So that I wish you could look. I don't want it to see it show here because of high school kids, but it is horrible that I was witness how they brainwashed and they were sending through minefields. And I said, God, you know, it took me over 40, 50, almost 50 years to heal because at night I see those scenes. Who did it? By the order of Khomeini. If you read my book, when I see the scene, I said, if they motivate them that you go paradise, murder, whatever. My book, after we lost over 5,000, those young generation, even from army, I said, if paradise are there, why Khomeini is not sending his son or grandson? They are big liars. No, what are they? They are outside Europe, United States, Canada, they kids, right? Enjoying. My people are starving. It's starving, I am talking. Inflation. It's horrible to talk even what's happening, you know. 2 days ago, all university students against death to Khamenei, death. Why? They figured out, do you know a couple of months ago how many people were killed? Young generation? 40,000. Why? They were just chanting, we need freedom. So this is barbaric regime, genocides, how everything was happening. So people, they don't understand what's going on, most of people. That's unfortunate, I am involved. Saturday we have rally, I have to go to Toronto. Those kind of things. Plus, my main focus of this book is not talking about the war. My main focus of the book is young generation like you to see that if I could make it through all this, right?
Right.
And get it here, then you can make it. Another main concern and a concept that I was telling my kids that you have to be very appreciative where you are. They don't appreciate what they have. They don't appreciate all this opportunity. Doesn't exist. Other country, even Europe I'm talking, forget about my country. 1.5 million Iranian just in United States, all educated, doctor, engineer, go everywhere. The best search in Iranian. Why they came out? Because they replaced and misplaced them with revolutionary guard, the people that didn't have knowledge. Khomeini didn't have any knowledge. Even 5th grade. Khamenei doesn't have even high school diploma. They are putting all those illiterate people on the top of everything. So what do I scared? I said, I'm not going to say this guy that, okay, telling me what to do. He doesn't know. That's what happened to my brother. He quit. He was the head of, one big company because he couldn't take it from the Revolutionary Guard telling him what to do. What happened? Bankruptcy. All they escaped. Companies, bankruptcy. God, no. They took it everything. Everything collapsed right now. One more thing I am adding. People, they don't fight against army or whatever. They hired from other country. They cannot speak Persian. They cover and they speak Arabic from Iraq, you know that they made a Hezbollah, Hamas, all this is the outcome of this regime, barbaric regime. When he goes to them, people, they are starving, they are saying, we don't need nuclear bomb, we need life. You know what I mean? They are asking that instead of investing that, please, I don't have medication, I don't have this, I don't have heat, I don't have water, go look at our currency rate. It is horrible, Trevor. It is horrible. I hope, hopefully we are hoping that after this, the people, at least they get freedom and they get simple life. That you guys have everything and you're not appreciated whatever you have.
All right, that actually, it's funny that you talk about the currency rate because I was looking at the Iranian rial like a week before this. I'm like, it's not at $1 million, right? And I'm like, oh, it is. Oh, okay.
I'm glad you going. I'm glad I'm doing an interview with you. That you see that when I came United States, okay, you know what? $1 was equivalent 7 to man. 7 to man means what? 700 real. $1, 700 real. My main focus of this book is not talking about the war. My main focus of the book is young generation like you to see that if I could make it through all this, right?
Right.
And get it here, then you can make it. Another main concern and a concept that I was telling my kids that you have to be very appreciative where you are. They don't appreciate what they have. They don't appreciate all this opportunity. Doesn't exist. Other country, even Europe I'm talking, forget about my country. 1.5 million Iranian just in United States, all educated, doctor, engineer, go everywhere. The best search in Iranian. Why they came out? Because they replaced Canada, United States, Europe. They are having fun. They have property. They bought it in Canada. They have. So hopefully we're gonna get it, that one, back. So they confiscated my house. Once they figured out that I am out. It's in my book. You read my book, right?
Yes, I did.
You can see that.
I remembered that part. I was shocked. I was so shocked that your family survived the ordeal because I had thought about how in North Korea they have the Juche system where 3 generations are punished. So I wondered in Islam, is it similar? Like they just punish a bunch of people for no reason at all?
Again, you're pushing me and talking about, listen, I'm not talking against Islam. I am talking out of my experience. I am not insulting other countries because I haven't been in other country. I am just talking about my country. Islam was a tool that they used and they misused the faith and belief of that time people against them. If it is Islam, why you're not following it? Where in Islam they said you have genocide your own people? Is it Islam? People, they don't. You know that? Young generation, They have connection with global system. They wasn't like the time that I didn't have any connection. Or young generation, they don't believe in Islam. They gave up their religion. If you're hungry, if you don't have food on the parents, they cannot provide anything. Do you think that they cannot think about Islam? Plus, all lies that they did it, they don't believe it. In my country, Islam, other country, I don't know, I cannot talk about that. But for me, no. Faith, if you believe in God, right, you have to show, make the God happy. God never says that kill your own people, young, innocent people, because they want freedom. They don't need it. They wanted food. You know, go look at the price of one egg in my country. One egg I am talking about. We have source of oil. Go look at the oil price. They are giving China, Russia, you know, all those are dealing with barbaric regime. What the hell are you calling death to United States? Or Israel should be wiped out, whatever. It's none of our business. The time of Shah, we had good relation with everybody. You know, everybody had privilege. Everybody had freedom of religion, freedom of speech, how to dress, you know. Once they came, women, they should dress this way. I have to cover, shower, whatever. If they do, they used to spray because they had makeup. Men, short sleeve. I cannot have shaving. I have to be dirty and those kind of things. They are out of their mind, but unfortunately, they were almost 47 years. They are destroying country, resource country. Go look at our rivers, I go see all the ride. Nothing left from the country. That's what it is. You talk about North Korea, worse than North Korea. Worse than that. So that's what it is right now. And hopefully we have a lot of hope that this is the end of the story. Because now they are chanting against. They did it before too, in Green Movement. I don't know if you read it or not. But again, the best thing is, you know, when I was there, I saw that they were hanging young kids, hanging in front of public, which I was that time base commander. For what? Hanging in public to get scared, right? And that's what I saw, that I was witness. I said, is that the regime? Is that Islam? So if Islam is there, they don't want this. That's what people, they don't pray, they don't fast, unless there's their own people. You know what I mean? Just for show up.
For sure. And again, about Americans appreciating what they have more, like before I researched history, before I got the interest, I was kind of in this little bubble, you know, America, what America is. And I thought the rest of the world was like this. I ended up reading a couple of history books and I'm like, it's not that good in a lot of parts of the world, and you don't really think about it because you're not really there. And when I think of all the stuff that's happening in maybe other countries like Bhutan, Nepal, parts of Asia, like Africa, Somalia, all these parts of the world, what do you think in this modern day and age would make Americans appreciate what they have more? Because I do feel a lot of it can also be traced back to social media where people like complain about their day-to-day problems, but if you look at everything that's going on in the world, it's almost nothing compared to someone starving or someone not being able to have education or not follow their dreams. It's kind of heartbreaking to see.
That's good point, Trevor. Even though you went there, you have to be somewhere, experience, you know, and then you can compare and then you appreciate it. Here, unfortunately, when I was teaching, even in this school or college, my colleagues even criticizing me why I am going Saturday helping my students. You know what? That was something upsetting. I said, my time, my family time. They were concentrating on paycheck. Not all of them. I'm just talking, they were some. And at the end, goodbye. No staying, helping kids, whatever. That's what I had problem with them. I used to tell them, I wish I could take you back in my country or other, then you could see what's going on. They didn't appreciate what they have. They think that everywhere is like here. We call this land of opportunity. That's what I tell my kids. This is land because I've been everywhere in the world. With all problems around, you see, this is the best. But why people they don't appreciate? Because, like you mentioned, they haven't been in that environment. You know, you have to be in the environment to see it, which is my book, is lived witness. I have seen and I brought it. So if you ask me something else that I don't know, what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, Trevor, I am sorry. I am math teacher. I taught critical thinking. Critical thinking needs evidence. I don't encourage my students to talk about something that they don't have more evidence or discipline or documentation. That's my job.
Sure. No, that is a very good point, for sure. Hearing all that, it's more about the person's view, and that can kind of become subjective at times. And I totally understand that. We were talking about how people lived, like to think that at a time, there are people like that who are suffering, who are doing all this, and the world doesn't know about it. It's kind of crazy. It seems like it's something people should be more informed about, and a lot of people aren't. Again, people can be manipulated easily, especially in this country. I feel like people can be manipulated super
That's what I am just saying that, look at, again, we are talking of politics. Listen, if we don't have security here, if I am scared somebody's gonna come and do something, I don't come here, right? So, again, it is politics. I have to talk about that. I wanted my kids, my grandkids, to be safe. Live it in, not in, like in my country, that they are afraid that, oh, they're gonna spy that, they're gonna catch them, they're gonna hang them. Security is first health, and then security is the main factor to live a healthy society. So that's why, again, I don't want to go through this, but I came here as a refugee, right? It took 2 years for my wife to go as a refugee document, even though I was here. We have to wait to approval, go. Yeah, that has to be processed because Iranian people, there are a lot of revolutionary guard, spies, what they come and they create problem here. You know, things happen in past, 9/11, whatever. Do you know what? We don't want that happen again, right?
For sure. No.
One crazy guy did that. These things. I don't know who did. I cannot comment on that. But they know. They know who is that. They said people, but still, I don't know. What I am saying that, yeah, we need the country be safe. Trevor tomorrow is gonna marry, hopefully have kids. Trevor can say, okay, go. You wanna go there? Let's go. That is the place is safe. They know that nobody is gonna kidnap, nobody is gonna steal, all those kind of things. So that's what, when I was talking here in high school, believe me, in the classroom, I don't know, have you heard about Mr. Powell? We used to teach here. He used to come and knock my door. He was a nice guy. He said, immigration, are you looking for you? Just joking. And kiss, even my EPK. Oh, I was pretending, oh, where are they, Mr. Powell? Do you know what I was telling my students? We didn't have security here, so we had open door from downstairs. We had door to come in, entrance. I think they are still there. They have too many entrance from downstairs at the end, that side. We didn't have security. I used to tell, and kids, they used to open the door, come on in. And I told them, I said, listen, you see what happened the other schools because they were shooting going on. Please don't be nice. Don't be nice. We don't know who is hiding there. They might come after us too. And they are after me too. Don't open. Yeah, because I was talking against government. They were doing a lot of things to eliminate people outside the United States. They did it couple in Europe. They killed them. And so that's what I was scared of. Kids, don't open the door. So security is important.
For sure. And we often take the security that the U.S. has to for granted because there's a lot of places where the police are super corrupt. You can just pay them off. Stuff can happen. It is terrifying for sure, and we should value that more.
But I'm sorry. On the other hand, I am immigrant. We should give the chance for legal immigrant, which they come, they work hard, and they do. But legally, there should be rules that was established. You cannot change it. Come on. You know how many Iranian spies they caught? One of those could do a lot of damage like 9/11. How did they manage to come here? Versus me that I had wait, or my wife had wait through process. I went immigration many times, and they said, no, I said, listen, my son is sick. They are stuck in other country. I don't have money. Read my book that explains what happened. I was crying, coming back. Finally, somebody read my book from congressman helped me. He passed away. I hope he rests in peace. Carl Levin, I don't know you heard about, very nice Democratic guy. He helped me to bring my wife, So all details in the book. But long story short, yes, people here, I hope they come on. All this come wisdom. You have to be open-minded. You have to respect each other. But we don't want it to argue. We want to discuss. So things that you mentioned, I cannot talk with some people. Even I go LA Fitness when I am talking, they don't even listen. They don't want to educate themselves. You know what I mean?
For sure. I've definitely seen it.
So that's what I think young generation in my country, they are very open-minded because of connection with Europe and they know more than I do. And sometimes when we text it, I see how they are doing, how they are writing. So I'm so proud of them.
And I'd have to actually ask, you said you fought almost like a war on two fronts between the Iraqis and then between your own government. You hear stories all the time. I can use other events that existed like Holocaust or like the Stalin's gulags, all these kind of things where people have endured stuff through positivity and like hope and critical thinking and just this amazing stuff. So I wonder, when you were in the battlefield, what encouraged you to keep pressing on to fight for freedom? It's inspiring to me.
A good question you're asking. I explained this in my book. As I mentioned in the book, they picked me and two other officers from military academy, forced me to go to the war. I was arguing them, why me? I am an instructor, even though I am active. Send other officers, but they are not instructor. So why they send us? Because you remember, I didn't go plane, I didn't. So my name was on the list. So they picked people that they are against the government, and they sent it battlefield. The story beyond this one was that when I go battlefield, I see a lot of my friends, and we talked because they were talking against. Basically, we were the enemy of the government first, rather than Iraq. In my book, I mentioned even name of officer that they hired Basiji or revolutionary. They shoot them from behind. When I saw the body, I said, enemy doesn't shoot from back. You see? And then I went there. We had over there stuff. I yelled. I said, and then they take it. They said, enemy killed. I was so careful that I'm going to be next. So when we had Operation Invade, they said we have to go Basra, we get it, all those kind of things. I was very careful that I was careful from behind first, that nobody kills me. And I told a couple of my friends, watch, please, watch yourself. We have to watch each other. And you know what? It is in the book. Even when we captured some prisoner of war, right? Basiji took the watches and everything. Islam saying this, it is halal. When I got there, I said, you have no right to touch them. They wanted to kill them. I said, no, they are prisoner of war. We have to treat them. I had argument with the Revolutionary Guard commander. So I said, no, we have to. And then I was talking with those prisoners. They know English, they are doctors, they were all those. Saddam forced them in front line. So basically, front line from both sides were enemy of the regime. And they wanted to, them vanished for their benefits. So that's what I was mentioning over there. I was fighting with two forces, front force and my own regime. So that's what happened for too many officers, sergeants, that they were against. I have another story that in book. After that, what happened, Revolutionary Guard, whatever, that you have to read it. So this government wasn't trustable. Listen, now it's obvious. There's nothing to say. After this many years, see what's happening. They are killing this many people. In couple of days, this many people, young generation, that's the regime. You call that Islamic regime. So they are following Islam. So Islam was like that then. That's why people, they don't buy it now.
Sure. I mean, that is a lot to take in. No, that is really
There's a lot, and it takes a lot to heal too. You know, when I came here, my doctor was telling that don't watch the TV that they have fight. Don't talk about that. Only talk with your therapist. Because I used to yell at, you see all those scenes. My wife said, you yelling, you screaming. I said, yeah, I have seen my best friends' brains, bodies. For what?
No, it's not.
So
It's like,
that's what it is. Now I am okay. I'm talking right now, because I see that worse than me, they are young generation, they are doing,
I actually do have to ask you something. This book really exemplifies the struggles you've gone through and what you've had to endure and how you got here. And it's like, if there's one lesson you can give to future generations, what would it be?
That's a good question. First of all, young generation, I tell them, take care of your health. That's very important in your life. You have to be healthy first to be thinking right. And besides that, don't give up in your life, because life is challenging. You don't, unpredictable, that's what it is was for me, but don't give up. Pursue whatever is in your mind. If you failed, it's still, especially in this country, land of opportunity. That's what you have, other opportunity. Don't give up at all. And enjoy your life as much as you could.
I would for sure agree with that. I'm gonna kind of go a little bit into my own life, but like kind of briefly. I have ASD. I have Asperger's syndrome. I was diagnosed with that like super young. I had a lot of challenges. The doctors kind of said I wouldn't really be capable of much, and like there's a lot of like negative stuff that came from them. I mean, I kind of proved them wrong over time. I like tried to like make like a destiny for myself. I worked hard. I did what I could necessarily, and I mean that's why I am where I am today. And like your ideas of hope too in that book, and like faith, like does it mean that to you, where it's like keep pressing on, like keep going the distance, I guess?
I'm glad, Trevor, you opened this subject, because I had to deal with the students that they titled that student, you know, she's nurse. So you show them that they are wrong, right?
Right.
So that's what I am saying, that teachers, mentors, if they care, they tell them that forget about that, let's talk about that. They misdiagnosed you. You're the smarter guy that you can do it, that most majority of the students, they don't have that capability to sit down in front of me, you know, and start talking. I wish I could speak like you do. You're so fluent. No, I am glad you proved and you showed them that all you wrong. That's what I was telling my kids. It wasn't at that level. Don't sell yourself so cheap that I cannot do it. And we show that no, they were wrong, whoever said that you cannot do algebra too, you cannot go AP. That happens in college too. I had a student, because mostly I used to teach Calc too. If you look at my plate is Calc too, because I love it. And then they was coming from high school, AP, whatever, and they said, no, I cannot do that. I said, let's try it. I got 3 on AP. I said, don't worry. And then worked hard and said, yeah, they were wrong. Number doesn't say anything. The effort and motivation brings you hope. So, are you agree that those people, even doctors, sometimes they are wrong?
I would definitely have to say that it can depend. Like there's some research that is flawed, obviously. Some do it for different interests, but some people are bitter too. It really just depends on the person.
Bitter to what? Some area, right? But you see that some people cannot do this. So that's what I am saying. So everybody has their own mindset and their own talent. You know, I am good in mathematician, but I am worse in English.
It's like the complete opposite for me.
You know what I mean? You have knowledge. You have what is that, talent? But this is a special talent. Might not be a mathematician, whatever, that the other people, they don't have. Right brain and left brain, right? So they are totally different. So, no, I give you really a lot of credit doing this. And when you approach me, regardless, I said, this is the smart guy in this school. Because even some students, they are afraid to come and talk to somebody that is giving lecturing. No, your parents should be proud of you. I am proud of you.
I would definitely say that they are. I mean, even I did a lot to get to where I am to this very moment, to even interview you. I was really, again, excited to do this. And I mean, when it's all said and done, with all the stuff going on in like Israel right now, do you think it's possible for like religions to coexist peacefully? Like, is there a way where people can find common ground to where people don't have to be, so extreme?
Yeah, common ground comes from, again, what I said, from knowledge. You have to look at it around. You have to compare everything, right? You cannot just say, this is what it is. So a lot of research, a lot of connection, gives you all experience. Experience give you what the outcome you can decide definitely. So this is what you're doing is first step for your future, right? And then it goes further, and you say, yes, I believe in myself rather than my colleagues, my friends, my teachers, or my parents. So that's what I set my tone, that I believe that I can do it. I believe that I don't give up my hope. I believe that I'm gonna get out of this and go into that, and I work towards that. And so you have to believe in yourself first. Don't wait somebody tells it like, okay, I am proud of you. Which, if you didn't believe in yourself, you didn't set this, which I am very appreciative you did it.
I know. I was, again, when I first decided to do this, it was kind of like an opportunity of just, okay, I want to talk to people. The whole idea of this podcast I'm making is more episodes with other people too, but it's more to talk to like people who have witnessed history or witnessed events and get their perspective, because I see a lot of people online assume stuff about certain cultures. I just feel like getting a refreshed new perspective, being open-minded, bringing people over who have experienced stuff is so much more valuable than hearing it from someone who's analyzing it.
That's the way to go, especially I mentioned that they've been through. That's very important. They've been through, not heard from someone, not that, they felt it. They were witness. So the book, my book, is all witness, all life stuff. And the book, I am not the author of the book. Do you know who is the author of the book? My students. If they weren't pushing me, I never wanted to do that. So I appreciate all my students that, both in high school and college, they push me. You have to write. Even some people in high school, now I remember it's Jonathan. He is now AP calculus teacher, some other place. Duran, his last name is. He said, that time said, you have to make it a movie from your life. And when he saw that, he said, you remember I told you make movie? I said, help me, we can make a movie too maybe in future.
That is great, actually, that you have an opportunity to do that, because I was going to bring that up. Do you have any opportunities for that? Because that is so cool. I'm so excited and happy for you, honestly.
I appreciate it.
For sure. Like, I'll be looking out for it. And okay, I do have one question. It's kind of silly. It's not like related. So me and my mom were reading it, and she's not the greatest at like pronouncing like Arabic names and like dialects. So like she kind of pronounced like Mashur Magagi as like Manashur Mojigaji. How do you pronounce that name?
This is the Manocher Maqi. He was the best pilot. He has training in United States, F5 pilot. He was very close friend when I was in high school. He was our goalie. He was too old, 2 years older than me. He goes military academy. Then I play soccer, and he was our goalie again. Then he goes to Air Force, and I used to go weekends his house. He did a lot of good things, what happened to him? Did they appreciate? Yeah, he was my best friend, not not big Delhi. So he passed away. His name was Manucher Mahakrik. We used to play soccer when we were in high school. The best pilot, F-5 pilot, he was training in the United States when I had training for Army. Yeah, that was the name.
I would really like to ask you, as a teacher, when you taught in the high school and college levels, which one did you find more rewarding and why?
Teaching a high school and college, you're talking, right?
Yeah.
Both they were rewarding for me, but the uniqueness of high school was that I had sometimes 2 years or 3 years opportunity to see the same student, right? Get to know in 3 years, algebra, pre-calc, AP-calc. You know, you get bonded, you get closer and closer, especially when you get mature enough, we become like a friend, right? And they trust me. I remember in the book, they used to bring all these problems, talk to me. They trusted me rather than the counselor. So I love that part, that we got bonded with most of my students because you get to see each other every day for 3 years, except weekends and all this. But in college, we had only 1 semester to get to see students, you know what I mean? To get to know each other. Both they were rewarding. But high school, I'm just saying, is not comparable with university because they are mature enough. You know, sometimes I could talk about a lot of things with, college that I wouldn't be able to talk in the classroom, here in high school. So yeah, both were rewarding, but most of my best friends are from high school. Married, we went their weddings, they invite me there, and I went their weddings. My wife, we enjoyed, and all those, superintendent dinner. Every year, back to back, I was invited by. Do you guys still have superintendent dinner or no? They pick the best. I don't know. Do you have it right now?
I'm pretty sure Dark is the superintendent right now.
No, the dinner, they
invite. The superintendent's dinner?
Right.
We do still have that.
You did. Okay. From get-go, every year I was invited. Every year. I didn't miss even 1 year. So they were another, Berkey. Berkey, you heard about Berkey?
I think I have, yes.
Yeah, he was one of those. But yeah, that's what I am so proud that students, they realize who made positive impact on their lives. And I have all those certificates, I made it in my house, all pictures of my students. That's what my assets are, my treasure. So I put it that every year they used to write down graduation, we had this, and I collected all of that.
For someone like you put so much time in your students like that, that is great to have a teacher who cares about you. I understand, it's awesome to have that and learn from them. And it seems like you were tough, but people learned a lot from you, which is great. So progress was worth it in the end.
It is worth it, but Trevor, it takes a time of your family. It takes a lot of efforts that you derive from Allen Park here on weekends. And my wife, sometimes she was upset that you focus just your students here, not your own kids. I said, okay, you're around, I trust you.
Sometimes I have problems focusing more on passions and working on stuff more than like friendships or stuff. And I kind of understand what you mean.
That's passion you mentioned. That's what my passion.
Which is, it's great. I mean, it's nice to like get to talk to you. I mean, I have to ask though, like you said you left like your family, even your mother back there. Like, did you ever get to talk to your mom again after you came to the States?
It was, my mom was sick. My mom had surgery. It's in the book. We didn't have iPhone, or I wish we had that time, WhatsApp. I managed to talk to her, I think 3 times, because they were controlling that time, my communication with, and so I didn't want her to get in trouble, but she got it, because when they come, she was living in my house, but when they confiscate, she had to leave it, that time. Yeah, and then unfortunately, after that, I didn't get to see my parents, even my oldest brother. No, I have one, youngest one, that unfortunately, suddenly, out of stress, he got it disabled, and that's why it's all what's going on.
That's a lot to go through. I'm praying for remaining people in your family. I'm definitely going to pray for you.
We had hope. It's almost, 40 years? Wow. None of us, we can go. We did it reunion 12 years ago. I went to Turkey, and my brother came, and I visited him in Turkey, Istanbul. Yeah, I put it there too. But that's just one visit, at least.
From seeing people be so willing to follow religious doctrines without question, what do you believe makes people susceptible to just follow something instead of question something, and how can we be more open-minded in the future?
Actually, the question you're asking, it is not now. It used to be that way at the beginning when the regime took over. They weren't open-minded, right? They were able, as I mentioned, brainwashed at that time. I'm talking about almost half a century ago. They did it only in one Iran-Iraq war, they brainwashed them. It didn't happen. No. Once it goes further, especially young generation, they had connection with global internet. They couldn't be able to manipulate or brainwash. So nowadays, it is not the same. It started with that when Khomeini took over. They talk about, Islam brings this. And then after a while, they found, no, Islam didn't bring it. That it brings all inflation, brings all poverty. Plus, the leader of Islam is lying to people based on their own benefits. So, no, it wasn't like that. I'm glad people, they grow, they understood, and they don't go, I told you before, people, they don't even go after praying, fasting, all is gone. It vanished in my country. So that's what it is. Only those people, they are pretending they had to. They don't want to lose their job, right? Or they have a lot of benefits, resource. They are in the hand of those revolutionaries. Those people, they are close to government, and they are working with them. So you have to compare what was before and what is after. Even they figured out in a couple of years after revolution. That's what they gave up. When I am talking with my nephews, nieces, and all, they are complaining. I hope this religion vanishes. It's gonna vanish. This regime goes, nobody's going after religion. The time of Shah, everybody has their own religion. But what happened? Once they took over, people, they have to hide their faiths, like Baha'is, they used to burn their properties because you were Baha'i. Even you mentioned at the beginning, you remember, Islam had two branches of Shia, right? And Sunni. This garbage regime is Shia. They were killing the Sunni people. They have to be what they want. People, they were hiding their faith because of they don't want their property to be confiscated. There is no freedom of anything, including mostly religion.
That is crazy. I really do hope that it does get better there in the future and they are more accepting towards religions, and this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, there's been things that have been happening in the news. I mean, I don't want to get too much into them, but it's definitely a chaotic time, and I have the greatest hope that everything will work itself out.
I appreciate your concern and consideration. Everybody is hoping that happens soon, and I want my people to could breathe like I did it 40 years ago when I came United. I said, thank God. So I was happy. I had house, car, brand new car. I left it everything, but freedom was when I came. I said, thank God, I can breathe, I can talk, and thank God we built our future. Now I have everything. My people over there, they are starving, but I am human beings. I am very sorry. I mean, we're talking about people being killed with their own government, where they had all the good things before this regime. Everything vanished. So what else they want to destroy? They are destroying everything. And they are now, after whatever is that with the United States or Israel and other European countries, they are crazy, man. They are crazy. They don't know what they're doing. They don't care about their own people. They don't care about what's happening. It is the property of country. If they are destroying all those, this is the money of people. Money of people, they go to Hamas, Hezbollah, they build everything there, Who create all this terrorist stuff? Iranian regime, Soleimani was the one in Iraq, the other one in Lebanon. I'm glad both, they are vanished. They destroyed them. So, if you don't have any question, I have just wanted to close. I put it here, that closing version, because what is happening when I look back to all my journey that you read it, I don't see just war or politics based on that. I see lessons which I earn. I learned that system can change. That's what answering your question suddenly, but character must remain steady. I learned that education, which is very important. One of the questions say how they can set mind. That's the education, that understanding fully, it rebuild your life. It depends on how much in depth you go through this education. That's what happened to my life. If I didn't have education, I wouldn't be able to do anything in this country. I had to end up doing just, it's not bad riding a taxi or whatever, but the passion, my passion came back. I could go in engineering, whatever. No, my passion was teaching my students. And I learned that no matter how difficult, I mentioned this, the circumstances, how different the environment. I said that life is predictable. Giving up only guarantee what guarantees? Giving up guarantees defeat. So you don't want to be defeated in your life, right? Don't give up. That's what I mentioned. Keep moving. So if there is one message I would leave, at which I mentioned, but I am repeating again, but I'm going to add one thing more. It is, think about yourself and your health. Value your freedom. Okay, and you know that I'm going to go, never give up. Adding this, respect your parents while they are alive. Respect your parents in your life. Appreciate your time and opportunity that you gave it to me. I hope that helped. I answered all your questions, and good luck on your future.
Good luck to you as well, Mr. Farokhrani.
Thank you.